Hi, I'm Kara Cherniak, and I'm the founder of a program called Kinder Karate, which deals exclusively with the 3 to 6-year-old age group. Having a background in psychology was very helpful, but having a background in the martial arts of over 20 years taught me that if I wanted to be the best, I had to think outside of the box. So in setting up my programs, I had to come up with techniques that would work for this age group and maybe that they'd never experienced before. Working with this age group on a daily basis with 123 to 6-year-olds has really taught me to think quickly on my feet. And so I'd like to share another one of these techniques with you to help keep the drama out of your discipline at home. Now, this technique is called the never say no technique. I know what you're already thinking, never say no? Well, maybe not never, but at least more often than not. More often than not, as parents, we say no when we really don't have to. We overuse the word no. I'm here to tell you, you can still get the limit that you want, you can still get the behavior that you want, and you don't have to use the word no. I think we can agree that there's nothing that'll trigger that lizard brain in your little kid more than the word no. And if you don't know what I mean by the lizard brain, check out my other video, Engage the Wizard and Not the Lizard, for more explanation. But the lizard part of the brain is a part of your kid's brain responsible for emotion, and that's the part that makes them melt down or argue back. So I had this situation in my class where I had a little boy who was getting ready for his belt test. And actually, I used one of my other techniques in the beginning. He was crying and he just was not emotionally ready to do the test. And so I used the technique in my previous video, Engage the Wizard, Not the Lizard. I knew I had to connect with him before he'd hear anything. His parents were busy trying to reason with him and give him logic as to why he should do this test. He practiced, he's put all this time into it. He wasn't hearing any of it. And so I first used one of the techniques to connect and get him to calm down. He did the test. He was able to finish it and pass the test. Now it was time for us to give the belts. So he came up to me. I shook his hand. I had his belt, and I was ready to give it to him. And he made this face like he just smelled the worst thing ever. So I knew I had a couple seconds before the whole thing was going to go south. So I said to him, Noah, can you tell me what you think about your new belt? Gauging the upstairs brain, right? And he said, I wanted an orange belt, and that belt happened to be yellow. So I needed to think very quickly, and I said to him, yes, you can have an orange belt, Noah. You just have to get a few more classes in. And luckily, the orange belt is the next one, so we didn't have very far to go. But that answer satisfied him. He lit up. He knew he had something to look forward to, and we didn't have a meltdown. So this technique can work for you with your kids. All you have to do is when they ask you something like, Mom, I want another popsicle. You say, yes, you can have another popsicle after dinner. Or, Mom, I want Sally to come over and play. And maybe you know that you have errands to run that day. It's just not a good day. You would say, yes, Sally can come over and play. Let's try for tomorrow. So you're still giving them what they want, but you're not giving in to exactly what you want when you know that you can't do it. Now, I know that the more that you practice this, the more that you can even play around with it on your own and without your kids making up, trying to think of things they'd ask you and making up answers. The more you practice and the more creative you get, the easier it'll come to you until it's just a natural thing. So I want to thank you for watching this video. I know that it's going to help you to connect with your child, make for a better relationship with them a better relationship with you. And I want you to stay tuned for the next video in my series. Thanks again.